Oh, it's been a while, huh? For those of you who don't remember, around half a year ago, I started the Black Clover Captain's Discussion series, and part of the reason, main reason, was because my favorite YouTuber, Teching101, he said that after he finished his Black Bulls discussion series, he would move on to the Black Clover Captain series, which it's been over a year since the last Black Bulls, and he still hasn't gotten to it. So, in my words, I'm doing his job for him. And it was going pretty well at the great consistency until I decided to add new content like Totally News, starting AMVs again, a few theories, stuff to branch out, get more variety, What's that? You guys don't want to hear my excuses? Great! Go to that intro! And since we're doing Charlotte, today I'll be doing this review, wearing my floral pattern crop top. I was about to say kimono. Yeah, you like it? I've had this crop top for a year, and it has blue flowers, so it's perfect for Charlotte's video. What do you think, Pikachu?
It's kinda girly.
Ah, what do you know? Hold on, let's get you. Well, you're still rocking those shades. Yeah, you look pretty cool with those. Yeah, you know what? I think we'll make this a part of your regular getup. How does that sound?
Awesome!
Yep. So, Charlotte, Char. Oh, that's right. She doesn't like being called that. Anyway, sorry it took so long, but I gotta say, I've had a lot of waifus over the years. It's changed drastically. But Charlotte, you've never been, to the same level as Malco. I mean, you're pretty hot, especially with your hair down, not in that bun like my mom wears, but you're not my favorite waifu, but whatever, you're still cool. Yeah, she is the type of girl I like. I like tough girls, strong-willed, And she matches that perfectly. Plus, her magic is pretty beautiful. Blue briars fitting. Since she has blue roses, at least at first, I really thought, and I'm sure a lot of people thought, that she founded the Blue Rose Knights. Yeah, this would be really cool, if she actually did, since I said, like with Jack's video, it would be nice to know the origin of more than one Night Magic squad, and I really thought, Jack looks like a praying mantis and wears green and fights like a praying mantis, so I thought he founded it, and his backstory would have been the perfect time for it. But although you could make the argument that since her house name is Roselei, you could say that her ancestors ancestors found the Blue Rose Knights. That's a theory for its own. Alright, now we're done with that. Let's talk about her history. So Charlotte Roselei was born in the house of Roselei, but she had a curse where on her 18th birthday, her and her family will be trapped in a cage of time. And during that time, Charlotte vowed to destroy that curse and join the Blue Rose Knights, but she wasn't able to crush in time. It looked like everything was done for her. She was about to die until good old Yami Sukahiro came to the rescue and saved her butt. Her hot, sexy butt.
Stop! Do you want this video to get demonetized?
Don't worry, I'll just put this video saying not made for kids. I'll even restrict it to 18 and up.
Oh, that'll do.
Yep. Alright, so where was I?
You were talking about how Yami saved her sexy butt.
Now you're doing it. I just wanted to hear you say it. Anyway, yeah, so that's how Charlotte got a crush on Yami, and I gotta say, they'd make a really cute couple. I'd really like to see her having a kid with Yami at the end of the series as an epilogue, That would be so sweet, and Yeah. All right, and her first real appearance, not counting the entrance exams, was at the start. Not the promotions. When she accompanying her subordinate Saul, and that's when that episode is when we found out Saul's obsession with calling Charlotte Char. That no matter how many times she tells her not to, she's all, call me Captain. Okay, Char. I said Captain. Okay, Char. You could see where that could get annoying, you know. And during that time, she laughed at the boys having a rivalry. The boys being Leopold and Asta. So you know. Oh, and but then once she got word that the royal capital was being attacked, she headed east and she saw some corpses and along. She was all, oh, such a vile beast! You shall be eliminated! Briar magic! Corpse hunting tree! Eventually, Voltos cheap shot at them and sent them teleporting, but they made their way out by combining their magic. We don't get a lot of compound magics in this series. I mean, we had the quintuple, I think that's how it's called, the quintuple attack with all of the elves, the 5 elves versus Marileona finishing her off. And then we had that when they basically made a plane, you know? Anyway, after Fuegoleon lost an arm and they made out with the necklace of that bracelet, that stone, the magic stone, sorry, it's been a while. Anyway, she saw the state Fuegoleon was in, and she, along with all her other magic knights, said to Julius, don't worry, we will get stronger, for Fuegoleon's sake! Such true words never sounded so good. Anyway, after that, when Yami was fighting all 3 of the Eye of the Midnight Sun's third eye, she along with Jack and Nozel came in and saved his butt. I should use air quotes since Yami was holding his own, and he himself said that he was about to get a power boost, and he's a former shonen MC for God's sake, so I'm not saying he would have won, but he would have, he might have. At the very least, he would have taken down one of them, maybe like Fauna, the weakest one, since she didn't. Anyway. Yeah, so Charlotte, during that, she was all, ugh, look at you. You call yourself a man, you can't even defend yourself. And the whole time, Yami was all, shut up, prickly princess. I like that nickname, prickly princess. Suits her. Anyway, Charlotte fought Raya, and during their fight, Raya was all, hey, if I beat you, why don't you ditch these losers and go out with me? Which I doubt Raya would. Well, I mean, he says he doesn't like royals, but she said, Charlotte's a noble, not a royal, but I'm sure he would have at least minded. Although not right now. I bet now he would date her in a heartbeat, but I'm sure at the very least her nobility would have given him like a slight annoyance. But even so, even if Raya didn't mind her nobility, Charlotte wouldn't date him, not in a million years, and not just because he's the villain. I mean, that's the main reason, but also her heart is on Yami. It's set in stone. She's going to marry him one day. So after that, we had a meeting of the So after that, we had a meeting with the captains, and Charlotte was all, why do I have to be around so many men? Typical Charlotte. But when I wonder how her reaction would be if Rill tried to imitate her. She would either flip him off, which I don't think they would show. I mean, can they show him? I mean, it is shown. Anyway, or she might attack, depending on how she imitates. We'll never know. Anyway, after that, later at the Star Festival, Soul gave her a dress to wear, and I love this image of her. My God, I love this image of her way more than I love her with that stupid bun. Like, my mom wears a bun and that's cool, but it just doesn't go well with her. I mean, it does and it doesn't. The long hair down. I like girls with their hair down, not in a bun, you know? Anyway, but then that's the Star Festival is where she met her love rival, Vonica and Oteka. Did I mispronounce that? Sorry if I did. Anyway, she had a drinking contest with her, and surprisingly, Vonica lost after just one drink. Although Charlotte got passed out too when Yami finished her drink for her. She was all, oh, and she was out for a good while. Anyway, that's not all. I almost forgot to mention, there was this, I think his name, this ugly notebowl guy, Ballman, came up to her asking Charlotte, and she respectively declined, but was all, I'm sorry, but no. But then Ballman grabbed her arm, and was all, I don't think you know who you're messing with. But then Charlotte was all, no, I don't think you know who you're messing with. Moments like those are why Charlotte is one of my favorite captains. So the next we saw her was when Mereoleona dragged her, along with everyone else, to learn Monoskin at the super volcano. And Charlotte managed to do it. I mean, she is a captain after all, so of course she'd be able. Granted, one of the weaker captains at the time she was one of the weaker captains, but still a captain no less. And then once they reached the hot springs, Seoul, mostly for Charlotte, but I'm sure she did it for other girls, but mostly for Charlotte, she was all, no, boys go on that side, girls go shower on that side. And then Charlotte was hanging out with Mereoleona, and Mereoleona offered her a drink, and then when Charlotte was thinking of Yami's naked, muscular body... No, don't show that picture! None of us are gay! None of... Me and Pikachu aren't gay, but if any of you guys are gay, that's fine, but here's a pic... But anyway, she was having sexual thoughts about Yami, and then she passed out, and then Mero was all, you haven't had one single drink. How are you knocked out? Oh, if only they knew. You know, while we're on that topic, Mereoleona and Charlotte, I have heard of people pairing those two up, like as a lesbian couple, and well, they're two different contrasts, like Ruby and Sapphire from Steven Universe, but Ruby and Sapphire make up the different contrast working, so they'd get along. I would pay to watch the sex scenes of that. Another evidence for why I considered Charlotte one of the weaker captains at the time was when she got possessed by Charlotte, her elfin counterpart. She fought Yami, and Yami was holding back, and Charlotte had a massive power boost. But Yami still technically won. I mean, I say technically. Yes, I know it didn't draw, but Yami held back on that attack, and because he didn't want to kill his future wife. It would have been, I bet he would have been devastated. And I remember Charlotte was all, Charla, sorry, they have similar names. You know, it's really coincidental that both of their names are really similar. I mean, I don't know if it's like her reincarnation or something, but, gods, you know, that reminds me, gods in the Black Clover series, that would be really cool. I mean, there have been several hints, and Natched even said, even if the gods and devils forgave them, I wouldn't. So, if Tabitha brought out gods as a final boss species, I'd be okay with it. I would. So after she got unpossessed, she woke up on her bed, and Soul was comforting her. And then after that, but then Yami came into her room, and Charlotte was all, Soul, please get her out, thinking to herself, please get it out, please get him out. But when Yami was about to ask a question of when she was possessed, she ran out of her room and was all, ah! That is the literal, she was all, get away, get away, get away. She went through buildings, rivers, and even, I heard the best part, she ran through a house and accidentally took someone's baby. Big mistakes. And I know she's a captain, but she could have gotten in a lot of serious trouble. Granted, she returned it, but that was really funny. She would have not have gotten away with that in real life. And after that, she came to her senses and was all, okay, you know what? Some people have to know. Some people have to know. And so she gathered some of her Blue Rose Knights and then was all admitted to the world, shouted to the heavens all, I am in love with Chami! And then she paused for a minute and she was all, oh my god, I'm so nervous. But then most, if not, no, all of them were all, wow, that's awesome, Char. You'd make a great couple. That is good for you. Great. That she must have felt a massive weight leave her shoulders. I know I would if I was in her shoes. Her hot, sexy boots. During the time skip, Charlotte learned Mana Method and got a major power boost, as it was shown in her first battle with Vonica. And the 2 Diamond Generals that were mind-controlled, which Charlotte fought against. At first, she was having a bit of a hard time since one of the Diamond Generals had fire magic, which everyone who's ever played Pokemon knows grass is weak to fire, water is weak to grass, and vice versa. All rock, paper, scissors thing. But Rill was able to put it out for her, and when she combined the water and dirt left over from Rill's spell, she managed to take down those Diamond Generals, which they got those Diamond Generals were said to be had the strongest captains, as said by Broku in How Strong the Diamond Generals video, and they got a bit of a power amp by the curse that Vonica put them on, and they still were quickly taken away. Man, it just seemed, except for Mars and maybe Ladros, every other general, sorry, I don't know why I said anyway, Diamond Generals have just been used as fodder, like, to bridge a gap, especially early on with taking down Ragus. Like, I literally cannot get over that fight. At the maybe I'd feel better if was, severely battle damaged, but no, he came out uninjured, as said in the fight on Wiki. She showed off her new form, Queen of Briars, which combines the blue rose and the red rose of her spells, plus Mana Method, ending off with so beautiful outfit. Oh, I could jack off to that 8 times a day. Oh, to give that perspective, I can only jack off to Mako 10 times a day. So, Charlotte, so far the video, you've gotten up and up on my waifu list, and not at the most, but anyway, she combined it, and then she attacked 70% Vonica and trapped her in the vines, and the Queen of Briars has a special ability. The stronger the opponent, the tired the vines go, which they won the fight. Rill was so surprised. She was all, what? Charlotte became a captain without her natural attribute? Had the look on his face. Oh, just priceless. Just priceless.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Yep. But I guess the strength of the vines has a limit, because when the Tree of Cliff-Oft completely opened, mostly completely opened, Charlotte's vines broke from Vonica going 100. So at that, she was still holding her own, especially since she had Rill, but Vonica took over that fight, and then Noelle took over, Noelle and Gaja, which another thing I cannot get over, Gaja, which probably the strongest Heart Guardian there is, he used his ultimate spell, which gave it everything he had, 100%. He lost. He was charred to a crisp. What was the point of that? Literally, what was the point of showing off Gaja's ultimate spell if it was just going to do the same thing for Lick's ultimate spell? Now, granted, Lick at least has the excuse that he didn't have his Grimoire, because if he had this Grimoire, he would have vaporized Zagred, which he still did anyway, but it's just barely, just 1% away. And then Zagred just healed up. It was the same thing with Magicula. I still can't get over that. That really let me down. Oh, but then Real proved he's not useless in the fight and used Twilight of Valhalla's a second effect, which gives them a bit of an HP boost, and Charlotte fought it more against Vonica, and, well, that's pretty much where we are in the story currently. It is crazy how this woman went from being one of the weaker captains to able to defeat a 70% Vonica and hold her own still against 100% and still fight on. Yeah, so I don't consider her one of the weaker captains, one of the strongest captains actually. I wonder how a fight between her and Jack would... Now, Jack would win. It would be a fight to the death, but Jack would win. Also, let's talk... I haven't talked about her magic attribute this whole... Her True Briar magic has a mini version of Asta's Demon Destroyer sword. It weakens curses. Not magic in general, but it nullifies, or at the very least, weaken curses. Like what happened in her battle with Vonica, and which got rid of Charlotte's curse that plagued her since she was 18. And Charlotte can still get stronger since, according to William, some of the elf's mana still resides in some of the former possessed magic knights. So Charlotte, even if it's not 100% the mana, it would probably be, my estimate, like 30, 35 tops, which would be still a decent power boost. And then I think she might be able to defeat 100% Vonica, or at least 80%, or at the very least with 100%, she would hold her own very well. And even if Vonica lost, she would be very battle damaged. Yeah, what do you think about Charlotte, Pikachu?
I think she's awesome!
Yeah, Charlotte... Yeah, I wonder if what their kid's gonna be. Like, if it's gonna be a girl or boy, but... we'll find out. Alright. Okay, that concludes Charlotte's discussion series. And, again, sorry it took a long time to get here, but, hey, at the very least, it wasn't over a year like Tekking promised, you know? Plus, I'm not able to say, I did your job for you and you got our hopes up, since I got a couple of fans' hopes up too. Granted, not as long, like I said, but, you know. Next up, we'll be doing Nozelle's, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with that video. There's some stuff I want to say about Nozelle. I mean, I love his magic attribute. I love his hairstyle, which... I know it hasn't been shown, but I know for a fact Nozelle has poked his eye out at least once or twice off screen. I mean, he had to, you know, with that spiky thing he has. I forget what it's called, but anyway, I think a braidish thing. Anyway, so yeah, Charlotte, she's a great captain. Really love to see her and Yami's kid. It would be amazing. All right, later, guys.
Don't forget to like